It is important to first define the problem we are faced with. In the case of green energy, there are two categories when discussing the problem. Firstly, the practical problems, your cars, industries, the burning of fossil fuels, global carbon emissions, pollutants in our atmosphere are too high. That's undeniable. It's our use as a world of non-renewable fuels. It's unacceptable. And still within the practicalities, the economy of many nations and, on a smaller scale, businesses, industry relies on non-renewable fuels, resources. Now, beyond all of that, you must first accept there is a problem in order to fix it. And so, neglect of modern lack of green energy, renewable resources, is likewise to blame. Regardless, the solution to neglect is quite simple. Today, we will focus on possible solutions to the more practical problems.
The United States is doing a lot to generate green energy. Sources include wind power, hydroelectric power, solar power, and nuclear power. All of these are good, but a few stand out. In a pie chart that includes the U.S. power generation, coal generates 45% of our nation's energy, natural gas being 24%, and nuclear being 20%, as well as hydro being 6%, and other, which includes solar, wind, and other forms of renewable energy. This makes up 5% of the total U.S. power consumption. Here are some examples of different green energy production methods. We see a map of wind farms across the United States, the Hoover Dam, which generates hydroelectric power along with Niagara Falls, and then a solar field in Nevada. During our research, we found that China and America's production of energy aren't that different. Coal makes up 65.2% of China's generated power, with hydro being 20%, nuclear 3.6%, wind 4%, and solar 1.1%, along with gas being 3.1% and other thermal being 3.3%. These are some examples of China's green energy production, such as the Yangtze River Dam, which is one of the largest dams in the world and provides a lot of power for China. Also, we see an electric car manufacturing plant. With the world being run on mostly non-renewable sources such as oil and coal, too many nations and companies rely on exporting and selling these sources to survive. If tomorrow we removed all the oil production from the world, there would be a recession like the world has never seen. To help counteract this, we would need to remove non-clean energy sources slowly, as well as gradually implement green energy sources as well. With nations like China being a manufacturing powerhouse that could provide parts to make renewable energy sources a reality, and the cutting-edge research both America and China are doing, we can make the world a better and greener place together.
Just to recap, we discussed the problem, what it is we are trying to solve on a global scale. Our energy usage, our pollutants, carbon emissions, how much of our economy is dependent on the non-renewables. We talked briefly about our need to admit the problem in order to solve the neglect. We talked about how the US and China both plan on using renewable energies, wind, hydroelectricity, solar, and nuclear power. And most importantly, how we will implement these renewables. It is a slow process for sure, but we are sure of its necessity. Through international collaboration, we hope these ideas will take flight and form a better tomorrow.